Hey guys, it's Alex from The Disciples, here with some sweaty nerds. It's way too hot in the UK/Ireland right now, and there's a fan on. I hope you can't hear it, and I'm dying. How are you guys doing?
Sweating.
Yeah, too hot.
Hot.
This is not the time to be like staying indoors, trying to talk about you. Yeah, this is the time to be like, well, not right now because it's like 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
But these are the days where you're like, I'm like taking my laptop, I'm working outside in the front, in the garden or whatever. It's like,
You've got DB to play for that.
Nah, bro. I can play DB outside. Fine. Bring the laptop
Honestly,
outside.
Today at like 2 p.m. I was sweating so much. I was considering. We pull up early. That's crazy.
Crazy.
I was considering like going in the ceiling and just sitting with my laptop on the ceiling because it was too hot and I couldn't work. I was just losing focus. But that doesn't happen. I'm playing DB, so it's fine.
Just to confirm, do you mean a balcony?
No, it's the actual ceiling.
Oh, the actual. Okay. Fair play.
I don't know. I don't know if you've seen from my room, but like there's like a big door, and then if you just step out, you're just in the ceiling. There's just like you can sit on it.
I don't know if you got the translation right, but
Oh, wait, yo, Marcus, we got a collector's rare. That's crazy.
isn't it? Woo!
It's not a
Yo,
good one.
mechanical?
Yeah, Mechanical, that's a
It's
game
good.
one.
They actually went up in price,
Nini?
That deck's stopping.
Is it? Okay, let's go.
Alex is opening a box in the background from when we won locals like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. It was. I'm not gonna lie. It's the most plus day of Yu-Gi-Oh I've had by not winning an event. Besides the other time I got didn't win an event, but I split with Marcus in a winner box, so I got half a box. Then I split with Marcus, who then split with Gabe, and then I got 1/3 of a Starlight. Plus,
Not how that happened.
it was crazy. Insane.
The fact you made more money than I did without winning games is actually just jarring.
Well, you were stressing until like 1 a.m. playing against like branded guy. And meanwhile,
Kurdish branded.
was it Kurdish? Oh wait, was that? I was out in the beer garden, like telling people not to play Remus in their Dragon Link deck.
Well,
Like-
if you think I was just trying to make sure my kids were fed. If I didn't win, no one got food.
That was a cursed day. But yeah, it's a new dawn. It's a new day. We've got new format. French nationals. The biggest nationals to happen of the format so far. Just happened, and Kashtira won it. Actually insane. Who could have seen
New
this
format.
What?
New format
What?
where? But yeah.
Alright, to be fair, it was considerably more diverse than it was before. I think we can start by kind of going over the representation numbers of French Nats at the top cut.
Yeah.
If you want to pull those up, Alex.
Oh, I actually forgot to do a thing. Put them all on a like download them all. So I'll edit it in afterwards. It's okay. But
Oh, I actually gonna add them in. That's crazy.
yeah, why not? I'll just pull a collector's rare. It's calm. I'll edit it in.
We pulled it.
So it's in French. So sorry. Is Mark here? Is that's branded, right?
That's branded, yeah.
Okay, so branded, slightly higher than Kashtira was like 10% off. Is that the entire representation, right?
Yeah. So this first graph is the whole representation was 2,000 something players.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's like branded was the most represented deck. The most represented deck is technically Sprite if you count the Sprite variants, because it classifies Runic, Life Twin Sprite, and Sprite as different decks. So if you put them together, it's Sprite.
I think that makes sense though. I think if I were going into this event, I would think that playing any form of Sprite is probably a safe bet.
Everyone played the deck like at some point. I'll be shocked. There's been so many Sprite formats that I felt a lot of people probably felt comfortable just picking it up, and it didn't get hit at the start of the 2, which you can't search.
Crazy.
I mean, to be fair, I think not having Gamma in the format is probably more of a benefit for Sprite than the like you trade the starter for this Gamma.
Even with confidence.
Yeah.
Even with confidence.
Yeah. What? Vela. Blue.
Blue, bruh. A beaver with confidence. That is crazy. But
yeah, also the French won the YCS London, right, with Cash. Was it Samir?
no, it's Samir who's playing Sprite, right?
Yeah, sorry, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Sprite. So I saw him playing Melfi Sprite again, as well as a bunch of people on his team. But yeah, there was a stream on it. So you can watch the games back. I think Josh was also commentating it.
Yeah. That's what I was watching.
It
Yeah.
was really good commentary.
Yeah.
It was a funny game, man.
We just had it in the living room, and like whenever one of us was in the living room, we'd just be watching.
The Marincess game was like a quality game to
Is it really? Okay, I might have to go back.
No.
Oh,
A game of Yu-Gi-Oh was definitely played involving Marincess.
man.
The word. Marincess did throw like 15 cards into a Fender. The Fender went like in.
I think my favorite bit about watching Marincess play is it always somehow does well-ish, but then whenever you play against it, I always just query just how's it there. Like, I played against one literally round 10 of UK Nats on X2, and I was like, how, where moment.
Nah. So there's one Marincess per top cut every time. It's a new Solomon grade. There's always one. You don't know how they got there. They lose on top 32, but they get there. When you look at the representation, you're just like, why?
Dragon Link at 4th though, that took me off guard. Maybe I didn't expect it to be that popular, and it was like popular by like a close margins too. Not 5%, but
I think it made sense. I think if you were going into this format somewhat blind, like, well, not blind, but like just like evaluating everything, I think Cash would drop a lot, and then I think that gives room for Dragon Link to.
I guess so.
power.
I guess Super Heavy and Pearly and Mathmech were non-existent, so Dragon Link slipped as like 4th.
Yeah. I think Super Heavy was like a big issue for Dragon. Like, I mean, Cash always was an issue, right? But Super Heavy was a big problem. Because you had to you're forced into playing hand traps to beat Super Heavy, and then your deck was just bad into the other matchups. Or you just gave up the Super Heavy matchup. So your build should beat Cash, your build should beat Super Heavy, and both were oppressive. And they played enough hand traps to stop you. So
Yeah, true. Also true. But about D-Link as well, like when we're talking about overall representation, it's just important to also recognize that it's one of those decks that like has like a bit of a cult following. There's enough people that will always play it. And
does it? That's crazy.
No matter how many shifters are in the format, these guys are loyal.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter. That's the thing, right? There's people who, no matter like what the format is, I think will just always play the deck. And when we saw a fall off in the likes of Super Heavy and Pearly and those other decks that people would consider like your like real like full-on contenders, they would be like, okay, I'm gonna be, dedicating myself to this deck. You're seeing a very kind of like diverse metagame, and then those people who are always playing D-Link are just going to continue to play D-Link, and then it'll just kind of inevitably find itself like the 4th or 5th most represented deck. Kind of just generally as a result of that.
It did perform decently well. If you look into conversions, I think 5 top cut, and you got finals. The finals is top 8.
Really amazing into Sprite. Like them summoning a 2/5 monster that gets them another 2/5 monster. It really just trades super well into the board, especially like the Dragon Link chain, how they chain link in the graveyard when you like do effects. Like it's really hard for Sprite to interact with that.
No, agreed.
Also, it has to be the most represented deck, but like the Dragon Dream.
Most represented, like when we consider all the sprites together. Yeah.
It's probably considered a good pick into the field if you knew like what the representation was like before.
Yeah.
I think I was talking with people with this. So the guy that got second, he played 18 rounds overall, and he played 2 Cash, and I think he had like 15 or 14 like good matchups. He played like 4 Despia, and like so a bunch of Melfi Sprite, a bunch of matchups. I'm like, if that's the spread, D-Link actually makes sense.
If Cash is 10% of the field, and he played 18 rounds, 2 is like expected, which is all right. The format is that diverse. I think I wouldn't even bet on playing more than 3. Like you can't really say I'm going to play 3 of this type of matchup.
And as we all know, Cash is 50-50.
Stop it.
Someone.
Can you tell that somebody has been coping the last couple of days?
Only the last couple of days. Only the last couple of days. Brother.
Well, I mean, I was being kind.
Brother, never.
But I think one other thing to note as well when we're talking about decks like, stuff like D-Link or these decks that would have maybe felt like they're a little bit too oppressed by Kashira existing before, is that like Kashira is like, it's still the deck I think had the most top cut representation. It wasn't like a massive though, right? It was like 1/6 the top cut. And the deck is like now, a lot more able to be targeted. So the sort of decks that would struggle with dealing with the Rise Up before are now able to like fully zone in on that, and then it kind of gives them more ability to kind of play the game that they couldn't before.
Massive shout out to the 2.6% of you playing Rika.
It doesn't work. They're not British. It doesn't work.
Exactly. 2 topped. Copium. Don't think they did. Don't think they went very far, but they did it. They made it. Top G's.
Oh my god, Rika also played one of the worst games I've ever seen on the stream round 12.
Yeah.
That deck's a hard deck to play on stream.
No. It was like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, the Rika guy, like, Cash had the Fenrir,
Mute him.
and the Rika guy had 5 cards, and somehow the Fenrir beat the 5 cards.
Yeah, I did watch, I think I was watching that live, and I don't really know what happened.
I know I looked away, then I came back, and I had to be explained, like, what the hell just happened.
But, if you do want to play Rika...
Sunseed Jess.
I was going to say just message me on Twitter instead, but I get peak.
What?
Peak for me, I guess. Peak, I guess. Statistically, I am still the best plant player in the world. I would like to announce this. Copium.
I agree.
Thank you.
Look, Plant was good enough to get you to 17th in the world's rankings for this year, so he's pretty high up there.
We'll get back to that later because I'm on tilt. You don't want to know how sad I was last night.
Nah,
was...
as much as you're sad, like realistically, you're like 25th.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. I guess we'll talk about it right now. I only found out, or I only saw the link for the world standings, or world points standings.
It came up yesterday.
It only came out yesterday. Okay. I was randomly 17th, but this is before Italian Nats, German Nats, and French Nats all had their points to input. So realistically, am I in that top 32 on displayed there? Probably not.
Because those nationals are 100 points get given out to over 28 people.
Exactly. So
I think our points are like almost half from UK national, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Like I think you were what, like 20th after Swiss? It's like 100 points.
Me?
Yeah, it's like 100 points. Because
it's 128 invites, right? So
yeah, I mean I was probably more fucked because I was 31st after Swiss and I lost top 32 cut. So
I don't think it doesn't care about top cut. I think.
Does it not? Does it just do after Swiss? No. I think no. But I guess actually I was gonna say Jess, but she got first after Swiss. But
yeah, that's what her points come from. Yeah. We're going back French. We're losing track of.
Oh, sad boy. Anyway.
Yeah. So I think a couple things should just highlight. Vanquish Soul converted actually super well.
That makes sense though.
There was less Vanquish Soul than Manarium. There was less Vanquish Soul than Pearly. There was less Vanquish Soul than Rika. It was 3.
Oh. No, I really love Vanquish Soul as a deck. If you have time to learn to play it, I think it's.
And I also think that the Vanquish Soul guy could have played better as well on stream. I think maybe I don't know the deck perfectly, but I was watching him as play. I was like,
Yeah, it's always hard, right?
Yeah, it's very hard, but like, I think, that just shows like the power of the deck even still, right? I still think.
His biggest misplay was playing Pluto. Come on, brother.
Oh, nah. You're not playing Pluto.
Better fire monsters. I can find you better fire monsters, please.
I can find you better fire monsters.
Please do not play this planet.
Nah, you know what's the funniest thing I see? So, this guy, like, he was playing Pluto. And Pluto's main phase only during opponent's turn. So, the guy bricked. He Plutoed at his end of main phase. Then the guy went talent strong full combo with him.
No.
And I was just like, there's no way you can play this card.
Okay, that's hilarious.
You know what? Deserved.
That's
On
so
a side
funny.
note, The guy is called Enzo, and he was the first person I ever played at a YCS.
What that guy was?
Yeah, 13 years ago, he was the first person that I ever played at a YCS. He got Enzo.
Now look at you. Look at you. Look at what you've done in this game. Damn. All because of Enzo, my G. For real.
Wait, did you beat Enzo?
No, I was summoning Black Wings, bro. I'm common Black Wings.
But,
Sure, Roman.
Sure. Aura.
Fuck's sake, man. Then, so top 8 cut. There was 2 cash, 1 sprite, 1 Life Twin Runic sprite, 2 Dragon Link, Vanquish Soul, Enzo my G, and Branded. How many cards was Matthew, the cool haired Frenchman playing? Was he playing 60?
41.
He's playing 41. Really?
Yeah, he was playing. It was like last Surrender. I think he was 2 or 1 Surrender, and then he played like 6 on Engine, and he played Double Disruptor Dragon and Rapid Trigger, which is, I guess, his tradition now. Because I mean, he did win last year and got second this year.
Yeah.
There's a thing in Yu-Gi-Oh, a magical concept called loyalty bonus. It's divine.
It's divine.
It's
I was gonna
divine.
say,
Alright.
this call has like a lot of people who like get rewarded from loyalty bonus here, right?
I'm waiting for my reward.
I think I should have played Plants for UK Nationals, in hindsight. Evidently, first and second after Swiss were playing Plant. I should have played it. I should have just gone back to my roots.
UK Nationals, every player starts with Concom face up.
Oh, that's funny. Okay.
Nah, but yeah, Matthew's list was a bit more normal this time around.
Okay.
I remember the list last year is one of the most crazy lists I've ever seen anyone in an event.
Judgment game. Come on.
No, that list was so out of nowhere. Because it was playing like all the cards that no one else was playing. It was playing 60, and he played like Tidings, and he played Galactic Spiral Dragon, Rapid Trigger Double Disruptor. But he was playing very well. You can see loyalty bonus.
Yeah.
Might just be playing well.
He was ready for every situation. That's all.
This
Yeah.
format is definitely like really skillful because there's so many decks you have to play against, and I think against all those decks you have to play fairly well. I think, yeah, there's a lot of half and half boards that you kind of have to interact with, and it's no shock. First and second was 2x national champions.
Oh yeah,
like the guy who won it last year and the guy who won it the year before him, which is just crazy. What a final if you think of like player quality.
and it's such like a broad event, so like it's like 2K people, so it's hard for like quality to shine through.
Like, that is like bigger than a lot of European YCSs, and it's like
American
two of the
ones.
best players in France were in the final, so it's not.
Yeah.
No,
No, it's really I think it's really positive to see stuff like that. When you just see consistently good players will always like keep getting to like the final stages of tournaments. It's really
It's so
Yeah,
hard because
see.
there's so many decks to learn, and there's your deck to learn, so many other decks to learn. Like it is very challenging for.
Yeah.
I don't think it's easy for you. Can't. I don't think you can have the luxury to pick up any deck and win because you kind of have to know what all the other decks do.
No, I agree. But yeah, so yeah, Tristan took down the event with Kashtira. Do we have his in this list at all or no?
No.
I don't think so.
I think he was his combo that he was doing Shangri-La, Arise, a Big Bang special, and then the special of Shangri-La, which is a decent board. I think you can actually lock a couple of zones too if the opponent has like a slow kind of hand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
don't
I
hate
saw
it.
him comboing like twice. He wasn't a Rise person.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes sense. You add like more bodies to the board, which are kind of harder to out.
Mhm.
And you still have the Rise, which still does its thing. It's still a Macrocosmos, even if you don't get the banish free. It's still a Macrocosmos, which could.
And it does get the bench eventually, to be fair, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the eventually to the board. Because I think Nip has fallen in popularity a lot.
Mhm.
So in theory, if you're a cash player, you're back on that part of the cycle that you stop playing around Nip.
But to be fair, it's tough to main deck Nib in this format. When the second most represented deck is Sprite, you really want to main deck Nib?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's,
And there's Daspi as well, which is like a weird
I
Nip
think it's a
matchup.
terrible trade. If we've already plus, it's kind of it's pretty rough.
You
And
kind of
even
expected more Labyrinth than you probably saw this event as
Yeah.
well.
there's the cash plays who just do a Rise pass.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, no, it's hard to justify it.
I think looking at the top 8, I think Cash was solid into that. I know Sprite can have a good Cash Nero matchup, but I do think it's not as Sprite favored as some people think.
Was there zero lab in Top Cut?
Yeah, so I was about to ask. I doubt it's
Wow.
0 because I think we're missing some from this image we have.
Yeah.
But
Oh.
there was not a lot.
I'm not surprised. Like I do
Neither
think,
am I,
like
but-
before, Lab had like an FTK with Gamma. Like there was so many games where you could like take the skill out of the game by Gammering people. It's really lost that. And 2, I think Labyrinth is a very hard deck to play, and a lot of the good players might have pivoted off Lab that could have played it when it was like a very strong choice to play. So
I think it's very weirdly positioned. It really struggles against some of the decks that are gaining popularity. Like Dasp was a hard matchup.
Dragon Link, I don't
Runic.
think is the best.
What? Which one? Sorry?
I don't think Dragon Link is the best.
Yeah,
Dragon's
Dragon's weird. And Runic is hard. And the problem is, a lot of people were adapting to Lab, so you keep seeing those lists on Ash and Bell.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
when people are on Ash and Bell, it gets hard. It was the same on UK Nationals. I felt like my deck was very good against everyone that wasn't on Ash and Bell, but when they were on both, it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes.
That's
Now,
dicey.
with no Gamma, I think the
Yeah.
Gamma was literally the FTK like Gamma, and the game's done. They kind of have no way to play.
Yeah.
No.
Hand traps also just got a lot worse. Like Nib's a card that's very good in Lab, but if Nib's worse, Lab also gets worse. The non-engine you get to play, it's not super impactful. You can't really play the hand traps anymore. But this is a format that flipping skill drain doesn't win you the game going second, like it was last format.
It's not really a deck that can accommodate like board breakers and
No.
voice those hand traps very well.
I think there was also a point, like when there was heavy, super heavy samurai, some people neglected any spell and trap removal. Now Storm, Duster, and Evenly seem to be somewhat of a staple in people's side.
Yeah.
decks. Before you'd queue into some, like play against someone, and they might have no back row removal, and then your back row just sticks and trades well.
But yeah, I think it definitely seen a fall in Lab's representation, like top cut success. Anything else noteworthy?
No.
Despia did the right job. There was a lot of Despia.
In numbers, they will top.
If no, they can't Ash Blossom all of us.
One surprise, I think, when you look at like everyone's tier list, they really put the runic variants high up top. So maybe I was a bit more shocked to not see it at French Nats, but I probably do also understand it too. The deck is a very hard deck to play.
Yeah, I was expecting it to be a little bit less diverse than it actually was. I was expecting like runic decks and Kashtira to kind of have like a level above in terms of representation, at least into top cut. But it ended up being like, I mean, if you put all the sprite variants together, like your Melfi sprites and your runic sprites, like it comes out like a decent like overall rep, and then Cash would be like second after that. But I would have probably expected both those decks maybe have taken a little bit more than they actually
Yeah,
did.
agreed.
Yeah, I do think those decks are very hard to play. So they have to be played in by very good players who not necessarily who are very experienced with the deck. But yeah, you have no battle phase.
You do not indeed. Another thing that happened this weekend that was actually won by Sprite was the Central America WCQ.
Ooh, guy
So that's
qualified
the-
for Worlds.
Yeah. So that's the Euros of
Continental champion.
Carlos Mercado, which I don't know who it is, but congrats.
Yeah, man, it's really hard to win a continental championships.
It is. Do you know that in Central America? See, it's hard to win Euros, not a European Championship. It's different.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah. It's a massive difference. You wouldn't get it.
I'll try and be better next time for you, Gabe.
Yeah.
Thanks, Carl. Thanks. Don't disappoint me. That's. But yeah, the guy that won Central America won with the like very standard list. Runic Sprite. He was siding Mannequin Cat, which I thought was interesting rather than maining it.
No, it's really good for shifter.
No. Like, but I'm surprised he wasn't maining it because it makes getting Shifter Game 1 a lot better.
Fair enough. I think quite a few players at YCS London were starting it. It wasn't like a common extra deck spot. I don't know if
Yeah.
I think if you're on the Griffin stuff, it's definitely a bit harder. Like, yeah, he was on Griffin, so the extra X space is a lot more tighter.
Yeah, I think it's Mannequin or you play the Life to Win rank farm. It's one of the two. But yeah, pretty interesting. See Grave again.
No, but it shows the deck is good because the deck is definitely good. But
Yeah.
I think it'll be very hard for it to get like oppressive representation because it has to be played by a lot of good players.
Yeah. I also think a lot of people kind of shy away from it because a lot of good players shy away from it because the mirror match is pretty bad. So I think a lot of people expected more of it. And then this weekend was kind of like, wait, if no one else is playing this, why don't I just play it? Kind of thing.
Yeah,
So it's interesting to see how Germany's gonna do it.
Yeah, for sure, because you could see it like in Germany that like if loads of people were like, oh, like nobody's playing this, we should play it, and then they all play it, and then it's like.
And the Germans are the ones that played it for London, so there is the.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I feel like.
Maybe...
Oh, sorry, you go.
Oh, sorry, in London, I think there's a big rise in Bestials since London. I don't think Bestials were actually that popular in London format when Cash was really heavy because Bestials were only for Mathmech then, and Mathmech wasn't super crazy. Like that was the only reason why you consider having Bestials in your deck, and for Despia too. But no one really like considered. Oh, I can also hit Live Twin Runic Sprite.
Yeah.
So and right now Bestials seem to be like a staple in pretty much every list that's not Cash.
Yeah, so it's interesting to see how it goes. I'm really excited to see German nationals. So German nationals this week, and I think if we combine both of those, we're gonna have somewhat of an idea for Euros.
Yeah, it's still their tax. Woo.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if what level the Germans take it, because the way I see it is kind of weird because their event kind of paves the path for Euros, right? So if they share everything now,
yeah,
makes Euros weird. But do they want to share everything now? Do they want
to win? You have to. The pride of winning your own like country.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. If you're on playoffs, maybe you don't, right?
Maybe in your playoffs. I think.
Maybe if you're on playoffs.
I think playoffs.
If you're playoffs, that's yeah.
I mean, that's assuming you have some crazy thing to share, right?
But you know what you do? You do like a Patrick Oban. Well, old school Patrick Oban, where you play the deck and you know the counter already, so everyone jumps on it and then you're ready.
You build the meta, so you beat it one leg ahead.
I think we should get better at our content and we should do it. It's the only way. Oh shit! I leaked it. I leaked the goo. Everyone play plants.
Cut this out.
No, wait. I see. I mean, I was playing Mathmech like 2 months ago. It was part of it. It was a very long con.
Okay.
Stop it.
Yeah. Cash won a regional with super heavy samurai cards.
Oh yeah.
That was a bit.
List. Okay, the list looks interesting.
That was a bit sus.
I watched the profile. He said the words. I resolved Wakaushi twice. The rest of the time, I was just playing Cash.
That was a homebrew, but I like what he cooked.
The thing is, right? He's only playing 3 Wakaushi.
Yeah.
For 3 bricks.
But no bike.
No. Oh yeah, he plays the Karakuri guy.
Yeah. So in my head, right? Wait, how do you even make? Oh, you make the 8, right? And the 8 summons the 2, and then you make Baron.
Yeah. The Karakuri guy summons level 2 tuner from the deck.
And the shifter, come on.
So the full combo is Unicorn Shifter plus Prosperity for 6 to then hit Wakaushi.
Yeah. Oh, Shifter for Prosper Wakaushi is like biggest brain ever.
Yeah, I thought so. Damn.
Really but yeah, that's an interesting one.
I think it's cool concept. I don't like the execution, and I don't like the concept really. But
you know what is a cool concept? Super Heavy Samurai Dragon Link.
Is that
it's actually a cool concept?
Yeah. I don't know who was cooking that Danish Nats, but big up you guys.
We don't actually have the list, but it got 2 tops out of 16 in Danish Nats, same list apparently. I think they're not playing Rockets from what a bird told me.
Leaked. 30 minutes in.
But yeah. What? No, it's not too deep. So this is Twitter.
But it's cool.
But
like,
yeah, I think it's pretty
like,
interesting.
Yeah, like even after the super heavy hits, I think people were saying that like Bokashi is still a crazy card, and there's still a place for that card to exist. Maybe just not in like the pure super heavy decks. We saw that didn't really convert very well over the weekend.
What does Wakaushi do on its own though? Like in Dragon Link?
It does a lot.
Scales. Pendulum scales.
So yeah. I saw it, and as current Dragon aficionado, I had to try it. It actually has a bunch of very cool synergies. So the extra search you get out of Soul Peacemaker, not Soul Peacemaker, Soul Piercer, is a dark, because Wakaushi is a dark, so you can always just Chaos Space dump this Wakaushi.
Sure.
Also, you make Omega, so when you make this pattern later on Dragon Link combos, you can summon this Omega back and banish it again. The cards are actually pretty cool. I haven't seen the list, but I'm excited to try it at some point.
It's one of the builds that can play spell cards. Like I'm sure people are struggling. Like Chaos Space, like Chaos Space. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, you can do that then quick launch if you want to play Rocket. Like it's not like Dragons doesn't play too many spells.
Yeah.
And Wakaushi is a very good card. I think that's like it's a very hard card to interact with. You can't hand trap it well. It kind of baits everything going second because it's 2+ to Bloody Resolve. So if people accommodate for it in some way, I'm interested to see if anyone cooks anything in German Nationals, so I can steal it instead of doing my own homework.
No, you have to cook. It's the only way.
Don't let Gabe cook. Don't let him cook.
No.
Don't let him cook. Oh wait, don't let him. No, wait, no. We need to get him under control and playing a real deck.
I get on 5.
One up shifter.
Jump scare.
Gabe is looking at a different ban list, man.
Oh no. Oh no.
Just saying, man. When it works well.
Stop.
Seek help.
You need Jesus.
Honestly.
I need Shifter to be banned, man.
Shifter and a Rise Heart. It's the only way.
Nah, bro, it's Shifter. You can interact with a Rise Heart, you just can't interact with Shifter.
But you have your 1 of Gamma, bro. Easy. Please.
And the 1 of Call By. It's fine. You'll draw 1 of them. It's fine.
Yeah.
You
almost... They go first with Shifter, because then you can beat it, because you can't interact with it.
Yeah. It's an unfortunate one.
Yeah, I don't know. But, have we got anything else for the week?
Nothing much else. Just, we mentioned Vanquish Shoal continuing to do well. We got 2nd place to the Toronto Regional. I think we're seeing that, like, I think the representation being low still makes sense because, again, there was a deck that only recently came out. Only so many people will have played it. Because I think it kind of maybe came a little bit out of nowhere for people on release weekend when we got 2nd at the Italian Nationals, right? So I think people are only just kind of getting up to speed, like as a whole now. There were like a couple of people who were properly testing it before, but not too many. So I'd be curious to see if that kind of like develops as time goes on. Because I know, Marcus, you were saying before, it's a very difficult deck, right? It's like you have to know like the ins and outs of it to be able to do well with it.
Very, because it puts up such a weak board, and the interrupts that you, if you miss an attribute, you kind of lose the ball rolling. Like once the deck gets going on and you have attributes in your hand and the gas is going, it's really cool. But if you miss an attribute and all of a sudden you've locked off 2 of your plays, similar to runic decks where if you miss a draw or you miss a step and all of a sudden your plays have stopped, the game just kind of ends there for you. But yeah, it can be really consistent.
Yeah, I also think that it's very hard to play against.
Sure.
There's a lot of gimmicks on column placement, on timings, things that can only happen in the main phase. So if you're not familiar, you actually just lose. Like you can't pick it up as you go.
There's so many like bottom text, like the link monster when you got battle phase, all of a sudden you have to attack into the highest monster. I've seen that one a lot, and Mad Love's like 2nd effect, which reduces 500.
Yeah,
everyone seems to forget that one too.
The Book of Moon doesn't target. The Book of Moon targets your monster.
Yeah.
And then they book equal to the amount of Vanquish Souls. The continuous spell can add your hand. So you can continue spells for attributes. There's a bunch of like very tiny things.
Yeah.
Marcus, do you know a place where you can learn small tiny things about relevant decks?
I've got a South American friend who needs money for his YCF.
It's crazy because I also got a British friend that needs money for YCS things.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay. My man, Alex.
Oh, you're just doing it off the kindness of your heart, then. That's crazy.
Yeah, no. Top G he is. Yeah, go on. Go away with it, Gabe. Give us the ad read.
Aye. It's the ad time. So me and Marcus are doing a 2-hour coaching session on the Friday, the week before Euros. So Friday the 23rd at 9 p.m. GMT, 5 p.m. Eastern. Our idea, we were having chatting about this for a while because we both do coaching. And I'm a tiny bit, isn't there? You're starting. You saw the bonus of new income and how good it is for your life.
I coach my boys for free. What is this?
I coach my boys.
I will take back those mics. My mics. But yeah, they're doing like a boot camp thing for EUWCQ, going over the decks, the trends, everything you'd expect, and I think it's quite insightful. I feel like this is the kind of thing that we're going to be doing the literally that weekend anyway, and just talking about our ideas going into what we'd expect to play on average, what we think's good choices, what's bad choices, that sort of thing, right?
Yeah, the way that I envision it is like it's a summary, because the format's so broad, it's very hard for people to catch up with everything.
Mm-hmm.
So being given an outline, especially because a lot of people test with a specific testing circle. So what if you test in a testing circle that no one plays Vanquish Souls? So you don't know anything about Vanquish Souls. So going through those things, going through things we think are well positioned, things we think make sense, things we think don't make sense. Of course, we are not the owners of the truth. This is our view and our prep. But I think it's something that I'm excited to do because I think it should be pretty interesting.
In all honesty, we do, as a group, we do prep a lot for these events, and we do pretty much go through every single deck. And I think the insight that we do give is pretty much one of a kind. And I think it will be very tough to get this thoughts from other people. And yeah, I think it provides a lot of value in knowing what the best cards are, and it makes a huge of a difference, especially in deck building and technical play.
So if you're interested in it, you can message me or Marcus both on Twitter. That should be on the screen if the overlay is correct. Or me on Discord. It's at GNets. And just message. We can sort out the details. We're also gonna be recording it in good quality. So if people can only catch a bit of it or you're not there at the exact time, you can also watch it later. We can also I'm organizing so people that can't watch it at the time can ask questions. And yeah, it's our first time doing it, but we're putting a lot of effort because we think it's gonna be pretty cool, and hopefully it's gonna be very beneficial for everyone involved. Because it also helps us prepare. I think the need, because I want to, if I'm making something, I'm not making it half-assed. So I want it to have good quality. I want to have good graphics, good explanations, and pushing for that also pushes me to prepare because I have to be knowledgeable about everything I'm talking about.
Several questions. So last time we were at the Gamer House Airbnb, we got the whiteboard out. Is there a whiteboard?
Not a physical whiteboard, maybe a virtual one.
Okay,
I was thinking of the physical, you know. So my vision for it was we could do both at the same place and have the camera on, and then maybe we could have the whiteboard. I think it could be a cool gimmick.
If not, I've got ideas for Twitter Shorts. So
maybe we could do an ad.
Do an ad. Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
Oh shit.
Please.
Wait, Cormac is actually gonna be here. Cormac can be a water boy. You can be a production person.
Come on, Gabe, that's your friend. You can't be calling him a water boy.
That's your friend. Yo, don't take that call.
Oh damn.
Damn, Cormac, don't take this.
Nah.
There's a 1-2 punch of Slender in like 5 seconds.
It's fine. I hear from Gabe enough as is. It's fine. When I win Euros, I'll be the one who's laughing then. It's all cool.
Yeah.
I think we probably should end off here while we, you know.
It's okay. It's okay. Cormac can be the second disciple to qualify for Worlds that weekend.
Yo, that's true.
Oh, yeah, true. Sam forwards. Yo, Patty, could we please edit the video that Barney sent?
Oh my god.
Please, pretty please.
I'll make a Twitter post if he gets there.
Okay.
If he doesn't,
That's fine.
then we'll have to edit it. It's the only other way. It's the only other way. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. And it's been a bit of a shorter one, but there's not too much to talk about. It's a bit of a hard topic, but
we could technically go into Battles of Legends if people want to chat about it real quick.
Quick one, okay. Cool card, Azalea, the Cope Dragon Link cards.
Cope branded cards. That
Cope,
don't solve branded problems.
yeah, that's the
More
super.
gas,
Yeah.
but still can't out a grave.
Yeah, and then there is the cards that look like Starlight rares, but they're not quite Starlight rares. And
Yeah.
yeah, and I do need to see because I need to decide if I'm gonna buy a Starlight IP or not. That's the follow up.
Yeah, I think Azalea is a very cool card.
Yeah, I feel
that
like
was played
really
a lot in the OCG.
I feel like
Assault Synchron, I mean, I kind of knew that one already.
Yeah.
It's also can also be kind of relevant.
Yeah, I think.
There's another relevant. Oh, it's the Link decoder. That's a big one.
I was mentioning, yeah. Good.
Why is that one relevant?
The Link decoder is like for MathMac. It's a Link one that when you make, it's a Link one that when you make any Link monster with 23 attack, it comes back. So it means that like the one circular now does hit so terahertz and trap.
That's pretty cool. Nice.
I think that card is like generally very cool. I don't know if the deck is good enough now, but it would be very relevant. Like last from the method is better.
If I know a guy, he can make it work. He's very angry, and he's my guy. The quickest one, yeah. But yeah, thanks for watching. Shouts to Brotherhood and Metamats and people.
It just sounds so happy to be gone. Like.
Yeah, think it's bedtime. See ya. Bye.
Alright. See ya.
Oh no, I can't press. Where's the record button? No.